Hey, what's going on, guys? Alan Freddy here. Are you trying to get your YouTube thumbnails, your Vimeo thumbnails, your Facebook video thumbnails up to speed and wondering how all these designers do it? Well, today's video, we're going to be talking about how to use a free tool called Canva. That's canva.com. Because some of you people have problems that I've hear. You know, if you're struggling with stuff like how do I make a banner for my Facebook page, how do I make a banner for my YouTube page. I don't really have any graphic design experience, so what I wanted to do was kind of do a basic tutorial, but then also throw in a little bit of cool techniques that you guys could utilize today to kind of make your YouTube thumbnails pop. So let's just jump right into it. So one of the things that I first noticed is one of my clients actually has some really cool ones on the Michael Jordan MJ rap bubble. So I'm going to try and replicate creating this. So here's a picture of what it looks like. But let us go right in. So first, let's take a look at when you first log into Temi. They show you all the stuff you could design with pretty much to do templates. You can do logos, posters, blog banners, social media presentations. The cover channel art here gives you the proper dimensions for videos, all that stuff. And so what I do is I typically just recreate the social media patterns or the YouTube channel art. That typically gives me the right dimensions that I'll need. And so what I've been doing is I've been creating all of them as I typically just duplicate all the ones that I've previously made. So let's hop in and kind of go with my current design pattern, which is this kind of 3D pop effect. So inside, this is all the stuff that is typically made. When you first create it, I'm just going to delete everything. It even starts with just a blank canvas. So if you wanted to get inspirational designs on the left side here, you can easily choose the templates to build off of, but I'm going to go with the current templates that I'm making and then kind of try to rebuild the ones that we showed here. So this is what we want it to look like. So I'm going to make a kind of combination design thing. So one of the first things I do is I double click. I'm going to redo that for you real quick. Is I double click the background and I change what I want it to be. So for my current YouTube design templates, I'm making all the backgrounds black, and then I usually do this element, which is just this square thing, and I click here. So I'll show you why as I design it of what I'm looking for when I make the design, but I typically am looking for kind of like a 3D effect, and there's a cool way to add this little pop if you guys like it. So from a design paradigm principles, there's a lot of things that you don't want to overload your audience with things of that they could be looking at. There's usually one particular thing that you want them looking at, and that is either the headline or the answer that they're trying to solve. So in this case, if I was going to do that, I would create this heading that says, how to design in Canva. So one of the first things you go when you go to text on the left side is you'll see all the different ones that you could make. I typically just kind of stick with the ones that are at the top because they're just literally this bold one and then this cursive one. And so when you put it in, and I've put it in multiple times, Canva, they group them together, and I only want this top one. So that's something you could see here in the top right is you group things together if you wanted to keep them organized together. So I'm just going to keep this one and do Canva design. And the cool thing is when you drag and drop, it can kind of showcase where everything is going. And so now let's go to what we're trying to get after, the Michael Jordan rap dribble bubble. So dribble like Jordan, rap bubble routine. So one of the easiest things I do is once you go to Google, so I'm already at that page, but if you just search for what you want to use, then you go into images. The cool thing about Canva is that you could literally just click the image, click copy or Control C, and then hit Control V, and it will paste directly in Canva. So it automatically uploads it and all that jazz. So one thing that typically happens when you're doing some of this stuff is that it gets a low res image. So you want to kind of, this is just particular for what's it called, for Chrome, sometimes it doesn't get you the actual image. So even if we do here, open image and new tab, see this is like a thumbnail image of the version. So something that I find to do to get the full version is you actually open up Firefox and do the same exact thing, but Firefox doesn't do that for you. It gets the high res version. So if we go to the same exact image source, and if I right click and do view image, well, the example did not work. Open link, new tab. So what I'm looking for is this 2000 by 300 image, and it's not appearing to work. So that usually works. You can test that with other stuff. Like if you go here, open image, view image, see this one was big, where the other ones usually go to a low res version. So let's try that. With this one, open image and new tab. See, open image and new tab actually brought to the link, or link in new tab, open image, new tab. Okay, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You can ignore this part of the video. I'm just trying to help you guys get a high quality version of this. So we're gonna actually save this image and downloads, and then we're gonna do an image search of the image so we can just get that. So let's upload that image that I just put in the downloads, and let's see what Google provides me. So there's all these images here. See if this one opens. See, this is, you can already tell by how big it opens that it's a higher quality file. So one example is if you do that, and then if I pasted it, it's kind of better quality. Now what I wanted to do was kind of put a little pop into it. So here I'll save the image, Jordan smiling. And there's this cool website you go to called Remove Background, and I'd already been on it, remove.bg. I'll leave links below, but from the downloads folder, or I could go to my Windows Explorer or straight from Chrome or Edge, you just drag it and bring it over, and you'll be able to get, so it kind of didn't exactly work there, but we'll nonetheless try to work with, or maybe we'll see if we can edit it. We'll even ask restore. Oh. A little bit. So this is a cool thing that you gotta do. Because basically the background was too similar to the skin color. I thought I would be able to do, but basically what you're trying to go for is that once you do that, you could get it in your Canva and go for like a 3D design. So now I just exit this and we just hit here, copy, and that didn't work when I pasted it. So when you copy it straight from Canva, you kind of get this effect that makes kind of your images pop. So when you put this line here and then you put the image in front, it kind of makes it so that you get a 3D effect. And even though his head's kind of messed up, maybe I get a better photo. I was really just trying to recreate this one, but what that person had done is they had done their graphics editor to kind of get it. So let me look at if there's better image qualities that I could get. Maybe this one will work. Another one of Jordan. Put it over here. Let's see. So this is both a Canva tutorial and this really cool background remover. So yeah, that looks pretty good. And then if I just post it over here, we can get that pop. So of course, now this isn't a Canva design. This would be a Michael Jordan, and let's see, workouts. And so probably what I would do is I'd make a different text to get the workouts in, just delete that, do workouts. And a cool thing in Canva is When you go up here to this text thing, it actually brings out the colors. So here's probably the color of the jerseys here. You can choose which either one makes it work and pop. So that's something I would do there. And then a cool other aspect that I wanted to show you is, well, one, there's these effect filters, so that if, let's say I would just wanted to make something cool. So unfortunately what happens when you do kind of some of these effects is it, that's kind of cool. It kind of messes up the background, and in order to keep the background good, I'd probably have to save it and then re-put it in. So, you know, here's different things that you could play around with. But yeah, so let's say we even do that. We add the stencils on top, and then we add this copy image again, and then we put Jordan back. Okay, so yeah, you can see that you lost that effect. So I'm gonna do some stuff here to, and if you wanted to get the same effects, I'll basically explain what I'm doing. So here I'll put the image and I'll do the effect because I want the stencil. So these are just ways to kind of make things pop. Stencil. I'll put this stencil in a way so that it's just the stencil that I record, but I'm gonna take a picture of my screen. I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller because I still want to get the 3D effect. So I'll take this, take the stencil, has a very clear black background. I'll open it up in I did the print screen option or window snippet. I'll save it as an annotation. I'll go back to the remover and drag and drop that image. And hopefully it just gives me an outline that I could take. No, didn't work. Bad example. So let's just go with a simple one. If you wanted to leave that could be a thing that you put on your Canva. There's lots of effects you could work with. Let's just copy and paste this one, and then a typical effect that I usually do, as it takes a while for it to register that it's a picture. What I usually do to get some pop is just add like a different duo tone. So you go with green, see all, and this basically just makes it so that it's like a different color. You get slightly different pop, and then you paste the thing back over, and what you're going for is a little bit of an outline effect. So something that you could do is, if I drag this over, you could kind of make this a little bit bigger and then put it over. And what that does is kind of give a slight outline effect that makes it kind of cool. Makes it a little pop a little bit more. And so you could try doing that again, even if you, because typically in most graphic design editors, they call it like adding a glow effect. You could even try to do that for your text, because you can see there's no way to do an outline or make it really pop. So what you'd want to do is, I could take another picture of this, upload it again to remove background, and then just get the text aspect and then put it back. So it's kind of different from what this outline was, but you still kind of get the idea. Is if we take a look, it says like dribble like Jordan rap dribble routine, and then kind of here in this one is like Michael Jordan workouts, and you could add a subtitle and be like train like MJ or be like MJ would be an effect that happens. So right now, this is my 2020 current design paradigms. I'm going for a kind of like just simple, bold text. You know exactly what you're going to get once you click the link. It's going to be a Michael Jordan workouts. If you wanted to be more descriptive, you could say stuff like, jump training or stuff of that nature, and maybe even put a little overlap. Could make the design a little bit cooler. And you could even make this bigger. So if I make this bigger, this one has to get bigger too. But a cool thing also you could do is in the background is you could also do a filter adjust, actually, and you could kind of blur it, and it has this like blurring effect. So then if I do that, kind of gives you more of a glow aspect. Oops, I didn't need to do it on this one. So now it's almost like he's radiating, right? The orange glow that we had there earlier. So, you know, this could be a different subtitle and stuff of that nature. Or you could also, I tend to stick to the corners and not put any text on this bottom right one, because if you go on YouTube, it actually, if I put that over there, you would see, I'm trying to point, but it puts the time of the video. So you don't want to do that necessarily. So hope this has helped you start doing a Canva and seeing the basics of what you wanted to do. To do a quick recap, I typically make all the backgrounds black. You click it and click here, and I just, to add a simple 3D effect, I add you know, a white box around and then put text, and I literally just use the first two that come up. That's what my kind of pop is. If you didn't want a black one, you could look for a background and then kind of blur it. So I'll put like basketball court background. That could be something that could be done as well. Let's see if we open this new tab. I'm just going to show you what it would look like. So we put this in the back, we expand it, and then we're going to do the position and send to the back. So what you'd want to do to kind of make it stand out is you do the blur thing. And then you kind of get that effect of like, you want to be paying attention to the text and stuff of that nature. Another thing you could do to kind of make the contrast is put the brightness down and change these effects to kind of make the text stand out more. So that's, I don't do a background typically, but if that's something that you want to add for your content, feel free to do that. But I just really like the kind of remove background, this 3D pop effect. It kind of just adds layering to your content. So that is all. Again, if you guys need any help with making any YouTube videos, YouTube content, feel free to contact me. I'm also throwing a funnel masters basic mini course on how you could launch content. It's geared towards fitness instructors, and I base it off of a lot of the trainers I've worked with and a lot of the gyms, all the marketing strategies I've done for my business, really diving into, and a basketball focus because that's one of my passions. If you guys want to break down, you know, some of the top trainers such as I Love Basketball, who has 4 million subscribers on YouTube, what they do for their channels, how they break down all of their content, you could sign up in the links below in links.blendlogic.com/shortcuts. Until then, I hope you guys are having a good time making all their content and using Canva to the most of your ability. And feel free to keep practicing around and just duplicating stuff. I'm sure it will help you guys. So take care, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Wait tonight. Bets are off. I'm gonna find my way tonight. Wait tonight.